Hello, everyone. My name is Oscar Hungsberg, CEO of the Tile Experts, and I have here with us...
my name is Ewald Hungsberg, Oscar's partner and lead craftsman at the Tile Experts.
Welcome. So today we're going to talk about large format tile installation in Edmonton and, what are the pros, cons, and what clients feel nervous about when thinking about doing that. And, we're just going to dive right in. So right away, one of the first things that some clients ask is, hey, I went to my friend's house and they have large format tile. However, I see a lot of grout cracking and hairlines and stuff like that. So we have run into this issue a lot, and Ewald actually has been in person involved in handling some of the problems that has happened. You want to walk us through?
Yeah, no, we once went to a brand new house. It was a year old, and they called us because they wanted to add niches into their walls. We didn't do this job. It's just the homeowner contacted us as soon as they moved in. And, we came in, we saw the tile, and it was a 24 by 24 tile in 7 showers that they had in their home because they had en-suites.
Yeah.
So then one of the issues was that once we pulled out a couple of these tiles on the wall, we noticed that things were cracking, and it was just questionable because it's a new home. So we pulled out a tile and we noticed that the one issue was that they just put blobs of mortar in the corners, and the tile does not bond good like that. You got to use your trowel and mortar in the tile, teeth on the wall, or the opposite, but that creates a better bond completely than
full coverage.
Full coverage, yeah. Instead of blobs where one end doesn't have anything, and if anything touches that hard, it'll just break, right?
Yeah, that was in new neighborhood. It was, I think it was like just north of McConaughey, right?
Yeah, I think Crystalina?
Crystalina, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so these guys did have 24 by 48 also in the basement shower.
That's right.
Which we also did a niche there. But the blob method does not work. It's horrible that people are doing this on brand new builds. And that's why when you do tile installation, you don't want the cheapest price. If you want good quality, you cannot be looking out for cheapest price.
And that's what we were talking about earlier, right? Some people come to us and they say, hey, why are you so expensive? Or why are you higher than these other guys? And what is it that we told them?
Well, do you want a installation that is problems free? Or do you want a cheap installation that you will have to call us back in a month or two from now to repair and redo what they did?
And are these guys that are doing the job for you cheaper going to come back and repair it for you?
Right. Do they provide warranty? Because with our company here at the Tile Experts, we provide warranty for our customers, our clients, for as long as they own their home.
That's right.
So any problems, you call us, we'll take care of it. And so we use premium products, we use premium material, and we definitely deliver on time. So that's a good start to this topic.
Yeah.
Now, this week, actually, we also were down in McGrath Estates.
That's right.
Doing another repair with, it was just a 12 by 24 tile, but we did notice right away that there was some problems because the trim was cracking, and there was hairlines on the grout. And then as soon as you knock on that tile, it sounds hollow. So it's just unfortunate that this is happening on a 1, 2, 3, 4-year-old house. But when this happened, it's just, there is no repairing this. It's always going to crack.
Yeah. So these homeowners, again, are there for a year, and now they're dealing with problems when they have been barely in their house, right? So
right. Yeah.
When it comes to installing tile, we want to make sure we do it properly the first time so it lasts forever.
Yeah. All right. So then, is large format tile worth it? Large versus small. You want to take that one?
For me, I would choose large format because of less cleaning up on the grout joints.
Yeah.
Again, if you have a lot of joints, it's harder to get to every single one and make it all perfect. Or if you have a large piece, it's just the one joint horizontally and a few vertically, depending how you lay that tile down. But yeah, I like large format.
Yeah,
it is heavier and sometimes
more labor intensive.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why homeowners question our pricing. They're like, hey, but isn't it easier to install if it's a large format tile?
Yeah,
it is easier, but it takes a lot of strength and it's the same amount of materials. And then when it's time to cut those tiles, if you mess it up, it's a full piece that you got to replace, which is an expensive tile, right?
Yeah. It's not necessarily easier, I think, because you do have a lot more to consider when you're cutting, especially if you have 7 holes in one tile because of mixing valve or body sprays or steam ones and all these things. So then, you might have 1 or 2 tiles that are just full pieces without any cuts, but then you're running into cutting that many and then you having to use premium mortar, not just your standard mortar that they're using. So yeah, there's just some things that you have to take into consideration for large format that you wouldn't for, something in a 13 by 13 or 12 by 24.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Too many cuts in one, for sure.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun.
You do 2 right, and then all of a sudden the third one breaks. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
Start over again.
Another thing that large format tile is really good for that clients. So we went in to quote something really close to University of Alberta area here, and they wanted a very clean finish type bathroom. And yeah, we are basically doing 24 by 24 on the entire shower surround. They would like also a lineal drain with the tileable grates so you don't see anything. And then the tile itself has a glossy finish on the walls. It has a texture finish on the floor. And since we're doing the lineal drain, it just minimizes the amount of the amount of grout lines that you have. Sometimes we even go to a 24 by 48 on the floor so that you have even less grout lines. And it's just, again, easier to clean and turnkey. Very, very modern, clean look. Yeah.
And that's with a curbless entry?
Yeah, curbless entries work. But yeah, whichever way. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so now that we've talked about some of the problems, some of the challenges that we have when we do 24 by 48 or 24 by 24 large format tile here in Edmonton, we're going to tackle what about large format on a floor application in a kitchen floor or an entire main floor? What to do, what to avoid, and proper application. One of the biggest things, I'll say the first thing, one of the biggest things that we look at is there enough plywood substrate on the floor? Because the code that we follow for our construction book when it comes to tiling is you got to have a minimum of 1.25 inches worth of substrate screwed and glued in order for us to lay even a 12 by 24 tile. So then now that we're looking at doing a 24 by 48 or bigger, we definitely want to have that protection, and we always include the anti-fracture membrane, which we use like Schluter Ditra or the custom building products Red Guard mat. Yeah, with that, we protect the installation, we give the customer peace of mind, and then we can guarantee the installation for as long as they own their home.
Even for us, right?
Yeah.
If we follow those rules, custom building products or Schluter will back us up if anything was to happen, right?
Exactly.
In the future.
Yeah, because we always check with them. Here's our entire system. This is the mortar we're using. This is the mat we're using. This is the tile size we're using. Yep. And then we can provide Yeah,
like for example, if we were to use a mosaic tile on a bathroom floor, people think that they could just go on top of Ditra, right?
Right.
And they just assume you could do that. But once you talk to the Schluter rep, they're saying, you know what, that's not okay, because if you have a smaller size than 8 inches, or I believe it's 8 or 2, they say the pockets on the Ditra is not going to hold the...
Oh yeah, smaller than 2 inches, yeah.
It's not going to hold the tile, so then what they recommend is put Curdy
Curdy
on
over
top of the Ditra so that this will warranty the tile installation.
That's right. That's right.
And then with custom products, do you remember what they recommend? I think it's
on the red guard mat, they actually recommend just doing the roll-on membrane instead of the mat.
Okay. And then concrete board sometimes, right?
Concrete board, roll-on red guard mat. Concrete board. On top of that, we do the roll-on, and then we can install the tile on top of that.
Remember when we did that tile 24 by 48 in Sherwood Park, and it was their whole main floor, and then we did their shower with all those windows.
Yeah.
We ended up having to do expansion joints.
That's right.
It was important because,
they were facing south, a lot of windows, the sun, the heat, the winter, the summer. So it is something recommended on anything 24 by 48, large format tile or bigger, every 8 feet to have an expansion joint. So we used the color match silicone, commercial grade silicone by the same product company, which was custom. Yeah. So we used Prism for the most part, and then the color match commercial grade silicone for the expansion joints. Yeah. So it all looks seamless, and it was real nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's an important thing when it comes to floors. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Especially with, big windows. But no matter what, that should be a baseline. Yeah. Okay. So jumping into kitchen backsplash application with large format tile.
Yeah. Here with the Tile Experts team, what we do for that, there is a lot of things to cut around in a kitchen backsplash. Yeah. Like outlets, or even if the cabinets have the balance pieces at the top, sometimes they'll come off. So then we have to pre-plan for all of that. So sometimes we just template it. Yeah. But it's harder to do with a bigger tile because to measure and everything, it's like you want to hold this space there. No. Yeah. So then, I think it looks super clean and it's a nice tile to work with. But we've done it in kitchen backsplash, and the clients have been amazed and super happy that they picked that size, right? Yeah. Another thing that is a challenge is bay windows in those areas, because not only you're cutting around outlets, the valence, but you're also got the bay window, and just everything adds up. Sometimes the framing is not even straight, so if you cut it straight, you might go in there and put it on, and it's like, hey, what's going on? This one is big, this one is a small gap. So you just gotta, sometimes, like I said, it's better to template these pieces with different products and then put it onto the tile, and that way you only cut it once. That's right. Okay, now on to the next part is, we touched a little bit on it, but large format tile in top shower surround applications. So recently we also completed one that had a window in it and a skirt, right? In Millwoods, right? In Millwoods, that's right. Yeah. So, what are some of the challenges we faced there? How did we tackle it? And what would you... So the size we used was 24 by 48. And we had to really think about the layout, because, 48 inches is 4 feet and the usual size of tubs are 5 feet, right? Correct. So then you think about it, you're like, okay, should I have a joint right in the middle? Or should I have one big piece and two small pieces on the sides? So in this case... And will the client like it? Yeah. At the end, we always check with the clients, is this what you like? Please confirm with me before I start cutting anything. Yeah. So then what they ended up going with was a stacked layout, and it was the full piece in the middle, two little ones, and then that way those could wrap around on the sides, and the sides were a full piece. More than enough. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So then it was basically no joints on the side walls, but on the back wall, you had a big 24 by 48 and then two small. The joint in the corner. Right? Yeah. And then that allowed you to bend it into the window, because we did the inner border in the window. Yeah. We put a little trim in there. And then, on the skirt, I believe we ended up doing weddy board on top of the plywood, and then installing that tile with trim and everything. Yeah, and then he actually didn't want to set that skirt in place because he wanted it to be as an access panel. So he actually could could pull it out if you needed to. So we ended up using Weddy board, and we checked with the Weddy rep to make sure that was going to be okay, and that, you know, with time the board wouldn't
anything. Yeah. Okay, awesome. All right, we touched shower surrounds, kitchen backsplashes, and floors. Another one is large format application in fireplaces.
I thought you were going to forget.
Yeah. And actually, we've been doing a lot of those.
Yeah.
Especially some interesting material and dimensions and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So why don't you take it away?
I mean, there was a time we did one, I think in Cybecker. It was a 24 by 24, and this guy had a really open space. He had, I think 9 or 10 feet high.
Oh yeah, with the shelvings on the right and the left.
He had like shelves and separating in between the middle to the sides.
Yeah,
we'll put some pictures on the video, right?
Yeah.
So he picked 24 by 24. So the fireplace is at the bottom. We did miter corners in that main area, but then in between each shelves, all the way up to the ceiling, he wanted tile there, and it turned out beautiful. And again, 24 by 24, you don't see that many joints, and I think he picked it right. It was like a gray.
Yeah, it's a very it turned into like an accent wall almost in the living space.
And I think it was from Julian Tile or Tile and Stone Source.
Yeah, one of those two.
In the west end of the city.
That's right. Yeah, awesome. So then, and then sometimes, depending on the material that we're using, we don't see a lot of 24 by 48 in the natural stone, do we?
No.
We probably, the biggest is 24 by 24.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when we do go to that in the natural stone, one of the things that I get asked in the consultation process is grout. Which one should I choose? Sanded, unsanded, prism. Now that we have the pre-mixed colors.
Should it be dark? Should it be light? Should it match the tile? You know it all, right?
No, I don't. But I do. We have seen enough that we can give them some sort of guidance. So the other thing is sealing before or after grouting, because then the grout also kind of penetrates the natural stone and makes it change even without having finished the installation, even the mortar sometimes.
Well, actually, yeah. Last time in Fort Saskatchewan, we did that shower with slate.
That's right.
Really dark slate.
Oh, wow. Yeah, we did.
And that one, like you said, we had to use charcoal grout, which is black. So we had to make sure to seal the tile first and protect any walls or ceiling before we go in there and stain it, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, black grout, it's actually a challenge. And it could stain your countertops and your drywall. It's something that we make sure we prep extra.
Not so our team tile experts, we know all the tricks now to protect you from any stains.
That's right. And continue to learn more tricks.
That's right. Tenemos que hablar.
Tenemos que hablar en español.
¿Sabías que Venezuela ganó el Mundial de Béisbol?
Venezuela ganó el Mundial de Béisbol.
¿Y dónde eres tú?
De Venezuela.
Y yo también.
Sí, bueno, Ewald es, vamos a decir, ¿de dónde somos?
Bueno, para decirlo de la manera corta, tenemos raíces alemanas, españolas y nacimos en Venezuela.
Así es, nacidos y criados en Venezuela. Hasta yo tenía los 14, 15 años cuando salimos de ahí.
Sí.
Y ahorita estamos aquí en Canadá por más de 2 décadas.
Sí.
Y somos canadienses por más tiempo. Ya, hemos estado en Canadá por más tiempo que hemos estado en Venezuela.
Y ahora tenemos hijos que son canadienses.
Así es. Y bueno, a lo mejor un día de estos, cuando sean adultos, van a ser los líderes de los tile experts. ¿Quién sabe?
Los expertos de la cerámica.
Los expertos. Oh, wow. Ese es el nombre de la compañía.
Sí.
Los expertos de la cerámica.
Sí.
Es un poquitico más largo, sí.
¿Sabes qué? Una de las cosas que es chistosa es que en Venezuela, en todas partes, hay cerámica. Imagínate que desde que nacimos, estamos rodeados de cerámica.
Oh, es verdad.
O sea que se nos ha estado metiendo en la mente
Ajá.
y ahora hacemos cerámica.
El mensaje era subliminal.
En nuestra casa en Venezuela todo era cerámica.
Todo era cerámica. Sí.
Las paredes son de concreto y todos los pisos de cerámica.
Y el baño entero, cerámica.
Sí.
No eran... Sí, de piso al techo, era todo cerámica.
Y ahora que somos expertos en esto, tú dijiste la última vez que fuiste a un hotel aquí en Edmonton
Ajá.
y a otras partes del mundo
Sí.
y has notado que imperfecciones por todos lados.
Por todos lados.
O sea que nosotros tenemos el ojo para saber qué es la perfección y cuáles son las malas instalaciones.
Es como un curse, como una...
¿Cómo se dice esa palabra?
Oh, Dios. Bueno, es un curse. Tú estás
Una brujería.
Estás en cualquier sitio del mundo y sí, o en cualquier sitio de la ciudad y entras al hotel y ves que tiene... Ya.
Somos perfeccionistas.
Sí, bueno, hemos chequeado siempre que se instale apropiadamente.
Sí.
Y si no está, pues se ve inmediatamente y ahí siempre te está gritando, mira, ahí está ese pedacito de cerámica que está mal. Sí. Bueno, gracias a todos por escucharnos. Una vez más, yo soy Oscar Hungsberg de los expertos en instalación de cerámicas.
Y yo soy Ewald Hungsberg. Y solo para decirles nuestro nombre, el mío no suena mucho latino o venezolano, porque sí. Ese era el nombre de mi abuelo, que era alemán.
Sí.
Y bueno, por eso. Pero mi segundo nombre es Daniel y mi segundo apellido es Sánchez.
Así está. Entonces tenemos el alemán y el español ahí.
Nacido en Venezuela.
Nacido en Venezuela. Bueno. Con la sangre venezolana.
Yeah.
Ahorita vamos a terminar y vamos a bailar un poquito de merengue.
Joropo. Y joropo.
Y joropo. Oh, coño, ¿verdad? Nada, para tambor, sí. Okay, guys, thank you for coming here to talk about large format tile with us in Edmonton.
Thank you for watching our Tile Experts channel.
Yeah. We'll see you on the next one.